Well, now that Trump has been charged, there are some questions about the upcoming election.
Yeah, even if you study politics, there's uncertainty about what happens if someone running for president is actually in jail. KATV News Watch 7's Aaron Hegarty spoke with a political science professor for some possible insight on this never-before-seen situation.
What does Trump's conviction mean? It's hard to say, even for people who teach American politics.
But this is certainly an unprecedented thing to happen. Although, to be fair, many things Donald Trump has done since his deciding to run for re-election in 2015 have been unprecedented. So it's really a situation where, we don't know what this means.
But there are a few things UNO political science professor Randall Adkins can say.
Most voters, whether they're Democrat or Republican, have already made up their mind who they're going to vote for.
He says if it does have an impact, he's not sure if it would help or hurt Trump.
You're not going to see a sweeping change where it's going to have a 25 or 30% impact in the outcome of the vote. You're talking about maybe 1 or 2 or 3 percentage points in any given state.
He says it could impact the outcome if it shifts things a few points in swing states.
But it's not going to be the deciding factor in the election.
Adkins says he's going to watch Trump's fundraising numbers.
I think the Trump campaign is going to have a record-setting night in terms of fundraising.
Trump's sentencing is set for just days before the Republican convention.
It's going to create a feeling for many Republicans of being the underdog, of having to try to save the Constitution, of having to save democracy.
Even if Adkins is unsure if the jury's decision will have an impact on the November election, he argues it could make an impact globally if other world leaders think there's corruption in the U.S.
And it not only lessens our level of trust in our own democracy, it lessens the level of trust that other countries have in the United States. And it makes it difficult for us to be a world leader.
Aaron Hegarty reporting.